الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. First and foremost, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. All thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for enabling us to be together today, this morning. I would like to express our heartfelt congratulations to our beloved Professor Uthman Bakr. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala assist him. And thank you so much for the leadership of Malaysia for this wonderful and grateful choice for our beloved Professor Uthman Bakr. Many people maybe in Malaysia, you may know him, but outside of Malaysia, we know that he is a great scholar, who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him this opportunity to have what we are talking about in IUM, all those project of integration of knowledge or Islamization of knowledge. We pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to assist him, and it is a great opportunity for IUM to have him as a rector, and hopefully he will continue to give all this knowledge that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him to this very wonderful university, IUM. And thank you to you for inviting him to be here. I think he's the right person. I was following what he was saying. It seems to be that there will not need for me to talk anymore, because he has already said all of those things needed for you people who are willing to take this certificate in integration. You have the right man next to you. I think he will be the right person and best person to give you all the details. After this, I would like also to congratulate you, the IIIT office, and congratulate IUM, our beloved brother, Professor Shukran, and our beloved Dato Jamil for this combination and their tireless effort to maintain this issue, the concept of this integration of knowledge and Islamization of knowledge. IIUM has made its distinctions throughout in the world by having this unique project and this unique objective for the higher learning institutions in the world. As far as the topics I was told to talk about it, Prof. Dato Jamil will always like to be more practical, pragmatic. And he thought that the 12 years I had a trial, I had a little bit chance to be in politics. That maybe it could be worthy for our brothers and sisters who have been always living in the academia and who have not had any opportunity to serve in politics. As today, our beloved Prime Minister, Dato Anwar Ibrahim, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect him and bless him and give him more strength, make him a real blessed for Malaysia and the Muslim world at large. The practical politics might be different from the theoretical politics. People who are living in the academia, they may have so many idealistic approaches. Well, completely different when you get into the field and see what is happening in that area. You will find that it was very worthy and it is needed for you to have the concept of this integration of knowledge to do this political or practical politics. What do I mean by practical politics? You know, the politics itself, we do call it, this is the affairs of the cities. In green, what do you call it? From the beginning, the Greek people were calling this the politics. It's the affairs of the cities, how you run the cities, how you get the solution to all the problems raising in the cities. So the politics is meant to just help the city to be stable, to be progressive, to be advanced, and to have harmonious life where everybody is enjoying blessing of that realities. Given that concept of affairs of the cities, handling, finding the solution to the problems that we might be faced in the societies, that the integration of knowledge will come in. For people who are in that field, there is a concept of the public interest. We do call it al-maslaha. Al-maslaha is needed here. When you talk about the integration of knowledge here, one of the best knowledge you have, which is usul al-fiqh. Usul al-fiqh has some of those, they do call the evidences, they call it the adilla. One of those evidences that you refer to, we do call it al-masalih al-mursala, the public interest. And that public interest has been guided in Islam. And that one, for people who are in the political science or in the political, practical politics, they may need to have a better understanding. They may need to have to bring all the solutions that we have looking for it for the political, for the practical politics in the light of this the public interest. What the public interest means? The public interest means that you should have a differentiation between the text that we do have, between issues that have been highlighted, have been guided by the text, and issues which have not been taught, which have not been, the text has not said that much about it. For instance, how do you run a state? How do you run a country? Islam does not get into details, but Islam would ask you that every single political actions must be based on justice, must be based on the promotion of the justice, the promotion of equality and equity, the promotion of efficiency, and the fairness, in addition to the transparency and all the things. So these principles will have to be brought in when you are handling any state matters, any political activities, and have in mind that is the one which will make the political affairs, practical politics handled by a Muslim, but handled by believers in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a believer that who believed that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had made the politics, made this power in his hand as a portion of his own power. But if you are holding a power, you must bear in mind that it belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, قُلِ اللَّهُمَّ مَالِكَ الْمُلْكِ تؤتي الملك من تشاء وتنزع الملك ممن تشاء وتعز من تشاء وتذل من تشاء بيدك الخير إنك على كل شيء قدير. Oh, this is the Lord, the Lord of the Lords, Lord of the Kings, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You hold the power, and then the power you give it to whoever you want, and you take it away from whoever you want. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes some, he proud, get some people great that he wants, and they may bring down whoever he wants. Everything is in his hands. So meaning, when you give the power to whom he wants, when he gives it to you, you must know that it is belong to him. He has given you a portion of it, that has given you to run a country, has given you to run an institutions, has given you to an institution, has given you to run a family, to get whatever you have in mind, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the public interest, Allah wants you, when you have that power, he wants you to handle it on the basis of the justice. You must promote the justice. You must be just among the people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala entrusted you to run them. You must be fair to everyone. Do not look any favoritism, no cronyism, no nepotism, but you will have to do everything with a fairness. You must be equitable. I mean, try to make sure that nothing is going against other things. There's no such kind of there's no such kind of conflict in the society. You must make sure that the things will go in the right way, in the right manner at all levels. You must, in addition to that, have to be efficient in anything you do. Islam is about the efficiency. Islam is about the excellence. Islam is about these distinctions that one has to do and that one there. So all the things down this, you have the transparency, to be in everything you do, must be transparent. Because when you are just, when you are equitable, when you are fair, then the transparency will not be a problem to you, because you will not be creating the people. So you have to have in mind, this is the basic when you do this is the practical politics to make sure. So integration of knowledge will come for good Muslim who is coming to this area. He has to carry along with him this principle, what we do call the principles of the power in Islam. We do call the principles of managing an institution in Islam. We do call the principle of even handling a family in Islam, that will have to mind that. The justice shouldn't be compromised. The justice should not be taken away for no matter what reason will happen, that you have to have it. Do not be Machiavellic, we talk about it. The Machiavellic, there is something which is, the Machiavellic himself as a person who was there, who was moving around from here to there, there was something which is lacking in his approach. He does not care about the justice, he does care about his own interest. That where he does not mind to throw away, to do whatever you could do in order to achieve some of these objectives. Islam was saying the objectives, once they are very notable, they are very respectful. So the means to that objectives must be also legitimate. So you cannot use illegitimate or illegal means to achieve something we call legal and legitimate objectives. So al-wasilatu in Islam does not tubarrir al-wasila, al-ghaya. Al-ghayatu la tubarrir al-wasila, meaning the objectives should not be justify the means, that the good objective must go along with the good means. It might go along with the legal and legitimate means that we have. You cannot achieve the good things through the bad things, through using some of those things that are not needed to do this one. So brothers and sisters, political science are that one. When the political science is handling, telling you how the power, the political systems should be, how the political activity should be conducted in a country. People think that the politics is dirty. It's not the dirtiness over here. It's the people who are making it dirty. But otherwise, it has to be clean as anything else. If you bring the wrong people in anything, it's not in politics, you bring it in the business, you bring it in even the knowledge, then if they are not clean people, they are not right people, then they will turn that things dirty one, which is happening today in the world. Is that way these people are in politics and they are making it dirty. If they were in business, they would do the same thing. If they were in the knowledge, they would do the same thing. So nothing to do with the politics as a politics itself, nothing to do with the business as a business, nothing to do with the knowledge as a knowledge. They depend on these people. The Islamization of knowledge will come to talk. We want to have the clean people. When they're in the politics, they will make the politics clean. When they're in the business, they will make the business clean. When they are in anything they do, then they will make that things clean, that one. This is the one which is needed today for Muslims to work on it. Do not get afraid to say, oh, I don't want to get in politics, because when you get the politics, you're going to change your principle. No, I think you will belong to this one, wherever you will be. As the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you will have to carry on, and you have to uphold these principles that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has entrusted you. So knowing that the thing, it is the amana of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The power is amana. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, إِنَّا عَرَضْنَا الْأَمَانَةَ عَلَى السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَالْجِبَالِ فَأَبَيْنَ أَنْ يَحْمِلْنَهَا وَأَشْفَقْنَ مِنْهَا حَمَلَهَا الْإِنسَانُ إِنَّهُ كَانَ ظَلُومًا جَهُولًا. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has this amana in hands. He wanted to give it to the heaven, the sky. He wanted to give it to the earth. He wanted to give it to the mountain. All these three decline. God, we cannot carry on this amana. We will not be able to uphold it. But human being accepted to carry them. But very unfortunately, he was unjust. He was ignorant. He did not respect it. So this amana in their hands, people, when they have been, human being took it, carried it, they will become three types of people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the end, the next ayah to this. يعذب الله المنافقين والمنافقات والمشركين والمشركات ويتوب الله على المؤمنين والمؤمنات وكان الله توابا رحيما. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, before this amana, you have three people, three types of human beings. We all carried it. Some are that we became, they are hypocrite, and they are unbelievers, and they are believers. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hypocrite, they are people who asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to entrusted them to give them this, and they were promised that they are going to practice what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked them to do. So they have given a kind of assurance to themselves, saying that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will do what you ask us to do, will be fair to all, will be just, will be transparent, will be equitable, will be doing what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks us to do in this amana. But very unfortunately, they betrayed that amana. They cheated that amana. They never respect that amana. They were not at the level of that amana. They are the people who, at the beginning, they become this hypocrite with this amana, with this politics or this power that Allah given to them. They never respected it. The second type are the unbelievers who think that we don't care what is going to happen in the hereafter. We will do this long, as we say, we are Machiavellic. We just believe in this life. We don't believe there will be hereafter. There will not be any day of judgment. So we do everything. So these people are the worst one. They don't care about anything. The other one, they pretend to be good band, to pretend to be good Muslim, to pretend to be good practitioners, but very unfortunately, deeply, they are doing everything against it. Now, the second, the type that world today is faced, this one. There are the people really attending this politics and the state affairs into dirtiness, into badness, into filthiness, what we do talk, even talk about it. The third group, brothers and sisters, they are the believers. They are the people who know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they will be accountable. They will be asked day of judgment. What Allah has entrusted you, has given you this power. You were not in need to lie. You were not in need to cheat. You were not in need to betray. You're not in need to do all the things because you got the power and that you have to be fair. You were not fair. You have to be just. You were not just. You have to be transparent. You were not transparent. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will get these people. Those people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not forgive these things. So the third party, they are the believers, as I said. That believers, they do this. They do believe that the power given to them is amana. And that amana will carry on. That amana will do, no matter what will do. They are the people who will turn the political practice into a good one, into the nice one. They will be fair to the populations, the people, the institutions that they are running. They will be fair to the countries they are running. They will do what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked them to do. But Islam does not get into the details. How they do and how they go about it, then they have to use what we do call it al-maslaha al-mursala, the public interest. And the public interest, as the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu, he was the first politician. People are saying politics is dirty and politics is not bad. The politicians, yes, he was the first politician. He was the head of state. He was running the state affairs. And nobody else was there. We were not having somebody, and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu was just making that, or was just reporting to that person. But himself, he was doing this one. But he left with us, with the Muslim, with his ummah, that the principles. Whoever will carry on, or whoever will be handling, will be doing this, he or she will have to do with this the principles that we do call the principles of political practices, principle of political running, state running, institution running, even a family, running anything Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has entrusted you with it. He has entrusted us with us, and looking at it as a service, as if not as a privilege, as something that you will make use of it to go against the wills of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but you will make use of it to strengthen the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to do what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks you to do, to make it as Allah wants it to be done. So brothers and sisters who are in the field of the political science, It does not mean that when you're in political science, you must be politicians tomorrow. If it happened that you become politicians, then what you have to do, you will remember, and you have to remind yourself all the ways that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the politics has to be handled. One is have to be, you do a lot of ijtihad. Al-maslaha al-mursala, as the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, إن الله فرض فرائض فلا تضيعوها وحرم أشياء فلا تنتهكوها وسكت عن أشياء رحمة بكم فلا تسألوا عنها. That the issues that we have in hands, they have three types of the issues. We have issues that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us all the details. There are the obligations, as the Prof. Uthman was talking right now, the 6 pillars of Iman, the 5 pillars of Islam, the 3 or 4 pillars of Ihsan, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the details. As far as these issues are concerned, nobody will come to tell us how to pray and where to pray and when to pray. These things are known to all, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala giving us. The Iman also giving us all the details, how to believe in Allah, to believe in the Day of Judgment, to believe in the destiny, to believe on His angel, to believe in the books that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent, and then all the things are detailed. What are the prohibitions? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already given us. Don't drink, don't do this, don't do that. Don't think all clear to us. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there are issues, His obligations are known, His prohibitions also are known. In between obligations and prohibitions, something Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kept it open. And He will not say keep quiet about it. He left it in the hands of the Muslims. He left it in the hands of the people, the mankind, to do what we could do with this one. What is this that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sakatan ashya, here the public interest will come. As it states, a man, I was somebody who is running in institutions, then Islam did not come to tell us how we should make our government. The government should consist of how many ministers, how many leaders, or how many, how do we do these things? It was left with us in our hands, and then we make a lot of ijtihad, and that ijtihad should be based on maqasid. And this maqasid, the maqasid will be the one which is stable there, but the means are different. When you talk about justice as a maqsad, we talk about equality as a maqsad, we talk about equity as a maqsad, we talk about efficiency as a maqsad, and then we talk about all the transparency as a maqsad. But means to these maqsads, means to these objectives are left with us. We make sure the means are legal, are legitimate, in order to achieve this objective. If you have an objective for justice, I won't go to steal the wealth of the people that because I want to make a justice. No, I have to make sure that wherever I get the money, wherever I'm going to do this, I have to make sure that all the means I'm using to bring me to that place, the means have to be also legitimate, have to be legal to have this. So this area, this open space where we do call this sakatan ashya, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has gifted us, has accepted us that we make use of our brains, we make use of our intelligence, we make use of whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with us in order for us to do and to manage our states, to manage our institutions, to manage our business, to manage our activities. This activity could be political, it could be economic, it could be intellectual, it could be whatever we do think at that level. Brothers and sisters, I'm not going to take such much time from what you've been given to me, but I would insist that here the political science is a great field of knowledge that Muslims should excel and should do what they have in mind, should recall the ways and means that Sayyidina Umar ibn Khattab has in our hand, one of the best example for the Muslims when it comes for the integration. He was a statesman and he was a great leader, and he learned a lot. And because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed him with a lot of intelligence, that Islam was saved. Because you may know in the history, after the death of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Abu Bakr was elected to be the Khalifa. Abu Bakr left just stay only for 2 years, and that 2 years were not that much totally different from the years of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But when Sayyidina Umar took over, the challenges were coming increasingly, increased. The challenges became so tough, and the Muslims were faced with a lot of problems, a lot of crises. They have a lot of challenge and threat at all levels. So it was Umar ibn Khattab, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, radiallahu anhu, made him that right person at the right moment to save and to make Islam be protected. Umar's way of running a state, I'm not going to tell you that everybody has to do the way he do it, but the concept of that one, that he was using the most of the time, that's al-maslaha al-mursala. So that I would call upon our brothers and sisters who are teaching the political science in our institutions, have to have a strengthened knowledge of al-maslaha al-mursala, the public interest. They have to have a lot of things, blocking and opening the means, saddid dharaya. They have to have more and more knowledge and deeper one in al-ihsan, al-istihsan, as the Prophet Muhammad. These are the principles could help you to have a better understanding how the political science should be based in Islam, and when the integration of the knowledge will come, will help you. So Umar managed, he overcome all of those challenges. You may know Iraq was not there, Iran was not there. Islam, Muslims, the geography of Islam, the Muslims, the country was very limited, but of sudden it became so many newcomers, so many converts coming to the Islams, and so many are coming, so many problems. Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu was making use of this, the basic of the running the politics, the basic of the power, the basic of the management of the activities or political activities. Sayyidina Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu, with this blessing, he laid down the foundations, the foundations that we don't need them today, and we will have to walk in hand and to remember, to recall his activities, recall how he was managing, how he was a great promoter of the justice. Justice is the basic of the all. Justice to yourself, justice to your family, justice to your neighborhood, justice of the people, justice with to your friends, justice to the state that you are living in, justice to the power that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has entrusted you. And Sayyidina Umar ibn Khattab showed that one. And then we could see who started establishing the ministries, we may call it them today, in institutions, agencies. Sayyidina Umar ibn Khattab, he's the one who did all the thing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him this opportunity, and Islam was saved. And from 13 to 23, from the 13 of the Hijrah to 23 of Hijrah, almost like 10 years in his one. It was easier for those people, for Uthman bin Affan, for Ali bin Affan, Ali ibn Abi Talib, or Umar ibn Abdulaziz. Later one, Umar ibn Abdulaziz used to be the grandson of Umar ibn Abdulaziz, Umar ibn Khattab. Then you could see how Islam prospered and how Muslims were distinct, they brought new life into politics, into political practices, into problems that we are faced, how to solve the problems that we are. Because the political science, mainly people in the politics, you have to look the political solution to the problems. Does not mean you have to lie, does not mean that you have to be hypocrite, does not mean that you have to leave behind you the principles and your religions that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to you, that one. But it does mean clearly that these activities have to be run as you do run other activities. You should not, if you don't cheat in the business, you don't betray in the business, you don't do in anything in academia, in intellectual activities, you shouldn't be doing the same thing when it comes to the political activities. As we have said, in the Greek days, they called the politics and the affairs of the city. So you need to run them according to this one. The integration of knowledge will bring you to have a proper running. If it happened that you end up to be in the area, end up to be in politics, then he will know what to do and how to go about it. With this one, I thank you so much, and I hope, looking forward to seeing you bringing the cleanliness, bringing the fairness, the justice, definitely, equality and equity, and have that one, carry that one along with you. Do not believe in so many of those theories, the Machiavellism and others, the opportunism, and all of those people who have ended up to make the politics seem in your eyes that it is dirty. No, it's not dirty. Please give your time to this one. If it is dirty, it's an obligation upon you to clean it up. If it is some bad things, it's an obligation upon you to do it. The little 12 years, your brothers, I had a chance to be in that government. I was trying to think, I was reminding myself all the way that a day Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask me, what did I do when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala entrusted me a little bit portion of the power for a little bit environment for a small country, small people, small people, that is the population, what I would do there. I never forgot that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a manna in hands, and that manna has to be carried on in a proper manner, and has to do with the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In politics, you must not forget that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one who could carry you, who could protect you, who has the power to give you whatever you want, who can make you an excellent, make you excel in anything you do. So this is the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Once given to you, brothers and sisters, our beloved students, tomorrow some of you become ministers, prime ministers, presidents, why not? Some of you will become the leaders of institutions, not necessarily politics, business, activities, what you do. So you have to carry along with you this integration. That integration, the values need to be added. As the Prof. Osman Bakr, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala assist him, has highlighted this, had given you that the basic that you should carry in every science you do, in every activities you do, be politics, be economic, be scientific, be intellectual. Once you carry along with you these practices, you won't suffer, and you will run everything clean. Humanity will be prosper. Humanity will enjoy that the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you. With this, I thank you again for this opportunity, and I hope this program should continue. And you people who will benefit from it, who want to be registered, who registered in that one, you will continue to learn from our beloved learners, our professors who will be assisting, Prof. Azizan, Prof. Shukran, and then we have our beloved brother Shahran. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all, and thank you again and again. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to bless Malaysia and protect Malaysia and Malaysian people. My best greetings and regards to all of you, to IIIT, as Prof. Brother Shukran mentioned it. He's a very, very good friend, a good brother for so many years. We had a chance to work in IIIT with Prof. Dr. Ahmad Tutunji. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless him, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have his mercy to our beloved Professor Faruqi, Professor Dr. Abdul Hamid Abu Suleiman, and Professor Taha Jabir, and Dr. Jamal Barzanji, and all of brothers and beloved brothers. I will not forget our beloved big brother, Professor Omar Kaswili, who continue to carry on the message of these great institutions of IIIT. And God give a great good health and quick recovery to our beloved father, Professor Hisham, Dr. Hisham. And I greet you all, greet Professor Dr. Malik, Dr. Abu Malik, Dr. Malkawi, Fatih Malkawi, and others who are here and who continue to say, without forgetting our beloved brothers, our beloved PM, that is free Anwar Ibrahim. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all. Thank you so much. My salam to Prof Aziz, and also I will not forget our Dr. Said Ahrabi and all of those great people that we had a chance to work together. We had a chance to promote this concept of integration of knowledge. We continue with under the leadership of Professor Osman Bakr. Be sure and certain that I will be there for you for whatever we could do to maintain. That's the message of Farouqi, the message of Abdul Hamid, the message of Barzanji and Hajabir. Will continue to carry that message. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.